Welcome to another edition of Sudoku Invariants, where I teach you how to solve Sudoku invariants the easy way. The numbers 1 through 9 is placed in each row column and 3 by 3 grid without any repeats. Also say numbers cannot be a knight's move away. A knight's move moves two squares up or down, and one square to the left or right. Let's see if I can get this to work here. Knight can also move two squares to the left or right, and one square up or down. Today we are solving an easy anti-knight Sudoku, a Sudoku variant. Now this is not as hard or complicated as it seems. What is harder is getting me to type on the right keys. But notice that the 1 is given in this column here, column 8. That 1 could not have been put in column 7 in rows 7 or 9. This is because of the anti-knight rule means that a 1 cannot be a knight's move away from another 1. And also, if we were to apply this rule to other numbers, as the rules tell us to, we cannot put a 7 in that square because it is a knight's move away from another 7. We also cannot put a let's see. Put a 6 here in column 1, row 5, because it violates the rules. It's the rules. Okay, I put in an arrow and circled it because a 9 cannot go here per the anti-knight rules. The second circle is where a 5 cannot go because the knight moves. Knight can move 1 square up and 2 squares to the left or right as well. Now let's solve this one. Easy will give us time to get used to how a knight moves. Many spots will be banned outright just because another version of that same number will already be in that column. For example, if I were to look at this 3 in row 8, column 8, I know a 3 can't go in this box the arrow is pointing to because it violates anti-knight rules, but also there already is a 3 in this row. So let's look at column 8. By simply counting, we can see that we are missing the 9. That is the only square with a missing number, so we can put it in and quickly move on. I am going to now focus on row 8. I see that it only has 2 empty cells, or squares, as I often call them. I think cells might be the correct term, but we don't need to worry about that because the easy way is not bothered by correct terms, but instead only with solving the puzzle. Okay, we are missing a 4 and 6. Notice that in columns 3 and 6, there is no 4 or 6. However, if we were to look at the 3 by 3 grid here, and columns 1 through 3 and rows 7 through 9, we see a 6. But let's use the anti-Knight rule instead and pretend we are thick and just didn't see the obvious. I will then look at this 4 in column 8. Using the rule, I will figure out how the knight moves and then determine if a 4 could even go into that cell at all. It won't work anyways. The knight moves 2 steps and then 1 step, making a 4 in this cell violate the rules. So I know that using the anti-Knight rules, I must put the 6 here instead. I'll put the 4 in the last empty cell and move on. Let's look at columns 7 through 9 at rows 1 through 3. I am missing a 5, 8, and 9. I see a 9 in row 1, so I know I cannot put a 1 here. I see a 9 in row 2, so I know that here is a no-go. I put the 9 in row 3 instead. Now row 2 only has 1 missing number, so I put in the 5. and then put in the 8 as that is the last number. Now to solve Sudokus faster, telling yourself you can do this and just simply counting and finding the missing number that is not in the 3x3 grid, row, or column is faster. So looking at row 3, I need a 1, 3, and 5. I notice that I am missing 3 numbers. I do look at which cell, which 3x3 grid, row, or column is missing only 1 number, and then I will look for where only 2 numbers are missing. I do this first, as this makes solving this faster. Okay, row 3. We do need the 1, 3, and 5. The 3 is in the first 3x3 grid, so I know that the 3 must go in the second 3x3 grid. One and 5 is next, but I see a 1 in column 1. This means I must put the 5 in first, and then the 5 in the first cell in column 1, and the 1 in column 2. This leaves us with only 1 missing number in the first 3x3 grid. We need the 6, so I put that in. Now row 1 is missing a 1 and 5. I look down column 4 and do not find a 1 or a 5. I then look at column 5 and see the 1. Because I cannot duplicate and put another 1 in the same column as a 1, I put the 5 here instead. So far, I've not had to really use the Anti-Knight rule to solve this puzzle. I did use it, by choice and not because I had to. See? Not that difficult if you do an easy one. Okay, looking at column 3, I need a 5, 6, and 8. Now we see it's 6 here. Meaning the 6 can only go in row 6. Now we see a 5 in row 7. Thus I will put the 8 here and the 5 down here. The bottom 3 by 3 grid is missing a 2 and 3. I do not see a 2 or a 3 in either column 1 or 2. I then look for a 2 or 3 and do not see any near enough to make the anti-knight rule useful. I move on. Let's look at let's look at column 7 through 9, rows 4 through 6. I need a 3, 4, 6, 7. Now I see a 3 and 4 in column 9, which means that both the 3 and 4 must be placed in column 7. I see a 3 in row 6, which means that I must put the 4 down here and the 3 up here. This leaves us with the 6 and 7. Now notice this 7 in row 3, column 8. Again, I can use the anti-knight rule and ignore the 7 already in this row and twice over determine no 7 can go here. I put in the 7 and then the 6. I see that in column 9 I need the 8 and 9. I see an 8 in row 7. Thus, I put the 8 in row 9 and the 9 in row 7. This leaves me with the 6 and 7 left in this box. And this 3x3 grid in the bottom right corner. Okay. I see a 6 in row 7, thus I put the 6 in row 9 and the 7 in row 7. Row 7 needs a 2 and 3. I see a 2 and a 3, so I put in the numbers. Three and then 2. I need a 4, 7, and 9 in row 9 in the middle 3x3 grid on the bottom. Looking at column 6, I see both a 7 and a 9. I put the 4 here instead. I see a 9 in column 5, so I put the 7 there, and then place the 9 in column 4. Column 6, is missing the 2 and 8. Looking at the rows 4 and 6, I do not see a 2, but I do see the 8. I easily put in the 2 on top and the 8 on the bottom. Empty cell so as not to duplicate any numbers in any rows. Column 5 is only missing the 6. Column 4 is missing the 4, 5, and 7. Because both rows 4 and 5 contain the 7s, I put the 7 in row 6. The 5 exists in row 5, so I put the 4 in row 5, as I am also missing the 4, and then put the 5 in row 4. Row 4 needs a 4. Row 5 needs a 3 and 8. Because of the 8 in column 2, I put the 8 in column 1 at row 5. And then put the 3 to follow. I need a 2 and 5 in row 6. I see a 5 in column 1. That means that I am only missing the 3 and 2 in this puzzle. However, I see a 2 in column 1, so I put the 3 in column 1 and the 2 in column 2, and we are finished. I will solve a medium one next so that you can really see the rules in action. And I do mean the anti-knight rules. Thank you for solving this one with me. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hugely appreciate it. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Bye.